Hi guys, welcome back to ladensercrochets. If you're new to the channel, my name is Liz. You're welcome. Kindly subscribe and join the family. In this tutorial, we're making a baby blanket, a Cocoon baby blanket. It's very easy to carry the baby around with it. I made this for child 0 to 3 months, and I attached a zipper on the side, which makes it easy to put the baby on the inside and then close them in. It's quite a nice blanket, especially in areas that are very cold. And this is a very simple pattern, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. Grab your materials and let's get into the tutorial. For this project, I'm using this yarn. It's called Baby Chenille, I don't know, Baby Chenille. So I got this yarn from Osona Yarns, and I think it recommends a large hook, like an 8mm crochet hook, but the biggest hook that I have is a 6.0mm, and this is what I'm going to be using. Then you're going to need at least 2 stitch markers, a pair of scissors, and a darning needle. I might need a bigger one. I'll see whether this works. If it doesn't, I'll get a bigger one. We're also going to need a zipper, a sewing needle, and some yarn, and a lighter for burning the ends to ensure that they do not unravel once we cut them off. We begin by making something like this. My starting chain for this particular piece is 50. I chained 50, and then I went on to do a total of, let's see the number of rows that I did: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 and 13. I did a total of 26 rows, and this is enough to cover the bottom part of the cocoon or the blanket. And then the remaining part, I'm just going to do an extension for the hooded part of the cocoon. Now I'm going to show you an illustration using fewer chains, but then you'll need to chain 50 in order to get to the length that I worked. So the length of this particular piece, let's measure from one end to another without stretching. The length is, let's see, 32 inches, which is an equivalent of 81 centimeters. So you need to work something that is between 80 to 90 centimeters. We begin with a slip knot, just like this, and then chain 50. I'm going to chain 20 instead. That's what I'm going to illustrate with. So just start with the chain, and you want to chain loosely. You don't want to have very tight stitches. I'm doing loose stitches, especially because my hook is too small and I do not want my work to be too tight. These are the chains that I'll work with, but work up to 50 chains or even more if you want your cocoon to be longer. Then after you've gotten the desired length, you're going to chain 1, and then into the second chain from the hook you're going to work into the loop that is at the back. So we have this loop right here. We're not going to work there. We're going to go into this loop that is at the back, yarn over and pull up a loop to get 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to complete a single crochet. Do not be too tight with your stitches. Then we're going to go into the next stitch, into that back loop of the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops to complete the second single crochet. Then we're going to do a third single crochet into the third chain or into the next chain, then a single crochet into the chain that follows, and a single crochet into all the chains. You want to do this until you have a total of 50 single crochets. Now I forgot to show you where to place the stitch marker, and you want to ensure that you place it into the very first stitch that you did. This ensures that your edges remain straight and you do not miss any stitch or work too many stitches. I'll just keep working the single crochets into that back loop till I get to the end of the row. Now I'm so sorry about the background noise. I have the air conditioning on. It's too hot where I live and I cannot work without it, so you'll just have to bear with the background noise. So now I'm coming to the end. I'm almost at the end. Just placing a single crochet into every stitch, and this is my last stitch, and I'll just place the last single crochet there. And that's how row 1 should look like. Make sure that you've worked more stitches. Like I mentioned, I'm just using a few stitches to illustrate what you're doing, because this is a very simple pattern and you should be able to get it. Now chain 1 and turn to begin the second row. We begin in this stitch. This is the very first stitch, as you can see. So insert your hook there and place a single crochet. Then get the stitch marker and mark that very first stitch. Then now keep working one single crochet into every stitch to the end of row 2. Now at the end you have the very last stitch, and you're just going to pull out the stitch marker and then place your last stitch there, and that's the end of row 2. Now chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. We begin row 3 in the very first stitch, this one right here. So just insert your hook and place a single crochet, get your stitch marker and mark that stitch. Now work one single crochet into every stitch to the end of row 3. We are at the end of row 3. We pull out the stitch marker and place the last stitch into that stitch that we had marked. That's the end of row 3. Now chain 1 and turn to begin row 4, and we begin in the very first stitch. Now like you can see, we're just repeating one row. The row 2 is what we're repeating until we get a total of 26 rows. So mark the first stitch and keep working your stitches, one single crochet into every stitch, then keep going till you get 26 rows. This is after my 26 rows, and we are done with the main part. So what we need to do is we need to fold these into 2 equal parts, and that means we're going to have 25 stitches at the bottom, then 25 stitches on the top. So then next we're going to work only 25 stitches. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 27, and we're going to do half the number of stitches that we've done. So in my case I'll do 25. So if you are done like 60 stitches, you should do 30 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4. I'm all out of yarn, so I'm going to show you how I've been connecting my yarns. So I just get the 2 ends like this. So you want to have them like that, then grab this end and tie it on top of the other yarn. Make sure that the amount of yarn that you have on this end is very small, like a very little extension, because I don't want to cut it. I just want to leave it like that. So when I'm tying, I just make sure that this end is very short. Then grab the other side and make a knot just like this, and then ensure that the end on that other side also remains very short. so that we don't have to cut the yarn. Like that, then pull to create the magic knot, like that. Then we keep working. Right now I have a total of 1 2 3 4 5 6, so I'll keep going up to 25. So as you can see, once you make your knot very short, you can't really quite tell whether there was a knot right there, because it blends in with the other part of the blanket. So I'm in the 25th stitch right there, which is my middle stitch. Chain 1 and turn to begin row 28. Then I'll keep working these rows up to this point, chaining 1 and turning, and then I'll be back. We're going to work a total of 12 rows with the extension part, and these are my 12 rows. Then we're going to fold this part so that we create the hoodie part. But then before that, I'll just chain 1 at the end and pull my yarn through. It's not too long, so I'm just going to work with it like that. Once you pull your yarn through, you need to bring this end together with these two ends together like this to create the hoodie. It's going to look like a V, like that. Then you're going to get your sewing needle and join from this stitch to this. I'm going to be using this larger sewing needle, so I'll just put my yarn through. I'll not cut it yet because I do not want to waste any piece of yarn, because I'm running out and I need it to be enough to stitch the bottom part. So now just go through the first stitch and through to the first stitch on the other end and just sew the ends together. Then the second stitch and the second stitch. So just join in the corresponding stitches till you get to the corner. Once you get to the corner, make a knot to secure that part, just like that. Then we have the yarn. We're going to weave it inside the stitches. So I'll just weave in for a few stitches, then I'll cut it off. So right there, I'll use the lighter. I think I should have used this first. So the lighter is meant to ensure that once we cut, it doesn't unravel. and that's going to be the wrong side of our cocoon, our blanket, whatever we want to call it. So now we have the hooded part. I think this is enough for a newborn's head. Then we're going to stitch the bottom part. I'll start from this side where we have this end. So we are stitching the bottom part, as you can see, and this is the part that we are leaving open, where we're going to attach the zipper so that it can be able to open like this, and it makes it easy to put the baby inside the blanket. Let me start from the other side so that I can use the two ends to make a knot. I'll make a knot at the beginning. Then as I sew the ends together, as I sew the stitches together, I'll work over these two ends. So the second stitch and the second stitch on the other side. The third and the third. Make sure the ends are like that so that we can work over them. And then we're just going to join the corresponding stitches all the way to the corner, all the way to this point. At the end, I've just made a knot, then I'll weave in the end. Then after that, I'll just cut off the yarn. So cut the yarn, then get the lighter and burn the end to make sure that it does not unravel. Just like that. And now we are done. Then we're going to turn this to the right side because we were working on the wrong side. So just turn it. And now at this point we only have to close up this part. Now you can use buttons or a zipper. It doesn't have to be a zipper. You can use buttons. So I'm just going to get my zipper and start attaching it on the inner part from this corner. So beginning from that corner, I'll start attaching to the top, and then I'll attach on the other side. So I will begin on this side. I think I need to close up this part for a few stitches, for like 3 stitches from the wrong side. Let me do that. I join like 3 stitches from the bottom part. so that the zipper is able to sit perfectly. So I'm working on the rows, and I'm going to join for just like that was the first row, then this is the second, then we have the third, the fourth, then I'll do a fifth one. Then I'll tie a knot. You can weave in the end, or you can just cut it and burn the ends, but I like to weave it in first so that it's secure. Then weave this into. And then now I can turn my work to the right side. Then attach the zipper from here on both ends. I'll do that off camera, and then I believe this should not be too hard. So attach the zipper or the buttons, or you can do a strap, like you have this strap. You can use it at different points, like attach right here and that stitch. But this is going to be a lot of work. I would advise that you do the zipper or the buttons. So you just pull out the strap like this, and then just tie at that end. Then you can tie it at this point, so that it's well closed up. So let me do the zipper. After attaching the zipper, this is what we have. So you'll be able to open this part just like that, place the baby in, and then close the blanket. like that. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the tutorial. If you've enjoyed it, kindly leave a like, a comment, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and see you in the next tutorial.